Have you ever felt like there's a tiny fire burning inside your body? One that you can't see or feel, yet you know it's there. That quiet fire might just be inflammation. The hidden driver behind a whole lot of imbalances that happen inside your body. It could be fatigue, aching joints, gut issues, not feeling hungry, no energy, can't get warm, or having the uncontrolled. You just have come to know that something is just off. It's just not right with your body anymore. Yesterday you were fine, today you're not. What? We know we're not born with it, this inflammatory disease. So what's triggered it? It suddenly just happens, doesn't it? Out of nowhere. Today I want to help you understand what that means and how you can begin to cool. We picture redness, swelling, maybe a sprained ankle. But inside the body, another kind of inflammation can simmer silently. This is when your immune system stays slightly switched on all the time. It just happens. Your life is going cruising along good, and then suddenly your body says something else is happening. It's like a small flame that keeps burning in the background, draining your energy, slowing repair, and gradually affecting your mood, your metabolism, just so debilitating at times. Why does it happen? Well, I can't really answer that for sure, but give you some guidance. After the age of 50, our internal landscape changes. Hormones like estrogen and progesterone, once were strong regulators of inflammation, begin to decline. I witnessed my father suffer with the shakes recently when trying to eat and continually cold, just couldn't get warm. His CRP levels were through the roof. More on that later. I discovered my own inflammatory issue too, firsthand, about 4 years ago when life was going good in my gut and bowels. After eating some not good food, I suddenly had a whole lot of different other issues going on. Since then, I've had to really, really be careful on what I eat and how I eat and what triggers it. And I still have relapses from time to time. And it's so debilitating. You basically just have to take yourself to bed. I did have surgery, I had a diagnosis, microscopic colitis, and so now I just have to really, really watch the trigger foods and just be careful of what I eat. For me, there's so many different autoimmune diseases out there, so it affects us so differently, and that's all inflammation. Inflammation on the inside of our body. The biggest drivers of this inflammation are quite subtle, everyday things that we don't really connect with our health. Some hidden inflammation triggers are often processed foods, gluten. Maybe you've not had gluten for a long time, which is what happened to me. I suddenly had gluten. Maybe it's a gut imbalance like me, or chronic stress, or poor sleep, or doing too much exercise, or emotional overload. A whole lot of factors could just kick in very quickly and cause this inflammation on the inside. Our nervous system does play a huge role in this. In one episode of the Huberman Lab podcast titled Using Your Nervous System to Enhance Your Immune System, Andrew Huberman does explore how chronic stress and the immune system leads to low-grade inflammation. What that tells us is your mindset, your day-to-day stress, your gut health, all of these are a part of this whole cause and effect of inflammation. Here comes the good part on how we can cool that fire. Start with getting some colour-rich, anti-inflammatory foods like berries, leafy greens, olive oil, turmeric. Do some movement that you enjoy. Strength work with weights is actually quite good. Walking, mobility exercises. Allow for a deep rest. Include breathing and meditation of some form and prioritising your sleep. Social connection, gratitude is very important. Being connected to other people. Showing kindness not only for your body but to others. It gives a deep sense of well-being. Doing some blood testing with your doctor and checking all your inflammatory markers like the CRP, which is the C-reactive protein, or fasting insulin, glucose tests. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. Just start with becoming aware of it and recording and noting down the triggers after the symptoms have developed. And remember, you can't fix what you don't measure. Awareness is key. Really understanding the symptoms and what is triggering it. You have to sort of think back to what you were doing a few days before quite often, because the symptoms come later, depending on the condition that you've got. Just being very mindful of what is going on inside your body and trying to do some restorative and mindful things to keep you on track and keep you on top of this inflammation that flares up from time to time. It's like a fire that just never goes out, and it just smoulders away and then poof, lights up again, and then you've got to go through the symptoms again for a few days or however long it takes, and then it smoulders down again. It never goes away, unfortunately. So let's do this together, because I'm on this journey with you as well, trying to understand how my body works. And what I've learnt is reducing my stress, taking some time out, being still, being mindful, eating clean, not succumbing to alcohol. I don't do that anymore, but not succumbing to a whole lot of bad food. I'd rather go without food than eat bad food. When I say bad food, I mean lots of gluten and pastries and baked goods and just things that aren't healthy. I have discovered dal is a very nice calming, or lentils and dal are good ways of getting extra fibre without doing the chickpea, kidney beans, black bean type scenarios. So do what works for you and trying to figure it out. But it is a lifelong journey once we've got the inflammation inside of us. Some of it is short and sweet and you get over it. Like recently I had a chest infection and that took me 3 weeks to get over it. I've discovered now what I realise is lung inflammation. So I did some research and got on to glutathione. But glutathione is good for you for post-recovery of viral and bacterial and chest and COVID, because that can be very debilitating too when your lungs aren't working properly. Inhibiting factor, but I know now how to get back on track real quick. I make sure that I have my gut rebalance toolkit on hand. Once I add back in cleaner food, make sure my stress levels are low, consistent calmer evenings, doing some more mindful movement after dinner, I'm more like myself again. If you're ready to explore what might be driving some inflammation in your own body, I invite you to download my free wellness tracker. Links in